Joe fans, I'm JoeFan82 here with another action figure and vehicle review. Today I'm looking at the G.I. Joe Retro Series A.W.E Striker with Crankcase the driver. This is of course based on the 1985 vehicle and driver that came out from Hasbro. Here it is in the box, gorgeous artwork on the box, slightly altered to reflect the new head sculpt for Crankcase, but I think it's mostly the vintage Hector Garrido artwork. Beautifully done. Here's a side shot of the box. We've got the product and the G.I. Joe logo. Red, white, and blue seems to be prominent here on the Retro series. Here's the back of the box with the product, and we've got a shot of the movable engine cover, and then another shot of the front with the cannon, and we have a side shot of the vehicle and Crankcase there on the bottom, just like the vintage one. And then we have the file card, and the file card says Roll All Striker Driver, Primary Specialty Motor Vehicle Driver, Secondary Specialty Armor, Birthplace Lawrence, Kansas. Crankcase is a former race car driver who's at his best when the speedometer is redlined. And below that is the same information in other languages for international release. And here we go back on the side, another product shot on the top, the logo, and back to the front, gorgeous front, and A.W.E Striker again, retro Hasbro logo there on the bottom right on the top of the box. And I don't know about you, but I'm gonna actually be keeping this box for display, but let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. And here are the vehicle and driver out of the box. Really looking awesome, guys. I'm gonna set aside Crankcase for now. Let's focus on the A.W.E Striker. From what I can tell, this is basically the same exact thing that you would have gotten if you bought this off the shelf in 1985. It's got the same green, looks like the same green color, all the same details. This does not come assembled in the box. You have to put it together yourself and apply the decals yourself, which I'm not a huge fan of because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, a little OCD. So they have to be, I want them to be just right. So it can be a little frustrating. But once they're on there, they look great. And the United States is there on the front. This is definitely not shying away from being an American line. And the removable engine cover on the back, such a great detail that the designers made way back when. And look at the detail on the just on the cover. And awesome. And here's a shot, a nice view of the engine. Great sculpting on it. Like, who would you expect a toy, that engine, car engine, to have sculpted detail like that? No, that's the passion that these designers had for this. Movable steering wheel. The gray fire control camera is still here, connected via black hose to the 70mm automatic launcher on top. I'm getting this info from 3djoes.com. All these details about what's on the vehicle was not printed in the blueprints that came with it. The blueprints were basically instructions for putting on the decals, and that's about it. But it's nice to have resources like 3djoes and yojo.com to give us that info. Great suspension on this vehicle, and the bottom is plain, not much detail there. Nice detail on the cabin inside, seats and stick. And here is Crankcase. I believe this is version 3. We had version 1 in 85, version 2 in 2008. This version is a brand new head sculpt, and I think it looks really good. This is using the new face printing technology that we've heard about. The eyes are much different than earlier, like 25th anniversary figures. You can actually kind of see pupils in there. Great sculpting on his hair, which is a bright orange all the way around on the top and through his beard. Again, I think I might have preferred having a mustache. We don't have a lot of mustached guys, but beard is looking good. And he keeps his traditional button-down green shirt, light colored collar. light brown web gear with a pistol, black pistol molded in on the top right. That's really the only firearm that he has. He doesn't come with any others. And the web gear continues on the back. They could have just kept it plain, but there is some nice detail in the sculpt on that on the rear. Underneath the web gear, he's got a black belt with a solid gold belt buckle. He's wearing 2 black gloves, which I think are probably the shiniest pair of gloves that are in the entire modern G.I. Joe line. They are very reflective. Speaking of being reflective, his cream colored pants seem to have that sort of shiny gloss there on the top, where there's on thighs and knees, but then down below the knees it continues the matte finish that we were used to seeing on these figures. So I'm not sure what was going on there. I actually kind of like the gloss. It reminds, it's like the vintage figures had. He comes with a black figure stand. It has a G.I. Joe logo on the top and his name on the front. And just like the vintage figure, he comes with a gray helmet, and this helmet is really well done. It's got these brown straps that come out the back and the sides, and this helmet is on very securely. You wouldn't think so, just looking at it, like it looks like it might fall off, but here, let me show you how secure this is. It's not coming off, guys, and it fits snugly, but it's not stuck on there. It comes off pretty easily. You just pull on it a little bit, and one of the best helmets in the modern line, in my opinion. It's articulation time. Start at the head, at the top. A little bit of up and down movement here, not too much. He can do a full 360 all the way around. It would have been nice to get a little more movement there in the head. He can do, his shoulders come up about that far, and they can do a full 360. Biceps, not quite 90 degrees. Sometimes these get turned around in production, so just check, make sure you got them in the right position there. Yeah, not much better that way either. So not a full 90 degree bend there. And his wrists do a full 360, and that's about it for joints on the arm. He's got an infamous chest cut in the middle. Movement side to side, up and down, broken up a little bit by that web gear, not too bad. The legs come up about so far, not too high. Double jointed knees, and a full 360 there at the ankle, with mine's a little stiff here, but another up and down joint there at the top of the foot. The question is, does he fit in the Off-Striker? And he does. Not quite as well as a vintage figure, but he does fit in. It's a little snug. He doesn't have quite as much headroom as the vintage figure. He's a little taller, as most modern figures are. And speaking of not fitting in, the Gung Ho 50th anniversary Gung Ho would not fit in at all. That's as good as I could get it. But I was able to get some other figures on. I've got 25th anniversary Stalker there in the passenger seat, 50th anniversary Hit and Run, and Pursuit of Cobra Sci-Fi riding on the sides. And I think they look great. They fit on very well. You've got a little bit of trial and error to go through to find figures who will fit on those foot pegs on the side. Guys, I'm very pleased with this. This is my first time owning a version 1 style Off-Striker, and I'm very happy with it. I don't love putting the decals on, but once they're on, they look great. Everything works as it should, and yeah, just fantastic vehicle. One of the best in the G.I. Joe line. The figure, I think, is really good. Nice, solid face sculpt. Paint apps are all on point for mine. I haven't heard otherwise from anyone else, but the paint apps are great. Articulation could be better, but let's be honest, he is a driver. He's gonna probably be in the Off-Striker most of the time, so that's not a huge deal, at least for me. But He hits all those main design cues from the vintage figure, which is perfect for this retro series. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter for more updates. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.